What is going on? How you doing? Welcome back to How's It Going to End? I got some shit going on. I got posters up. Slowly piecing everything together, making sure this is all recording. And yeah, how's everybody doing? If you can hear some noise, it's because I'm doing laundry. And I'm unprofessional. But, deal with it. What are you going to do? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of cool shit. A lot of overdue shit. I'm going to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong. Saw that last week. Set up a projector for it, which is fucking cool. A fun way to see a movie that should have been seen in theaters, but what are you going to do? With the way shit is. We're going to talk some Falcon and Winter Soldier spoilers. We're going to talk some Invincible spoilers. Invincible animated show on Amazon Prime. Super fucking good show. I'm stoked to talk about that to nobody. Not to nobody. To you guys. You guys are here, right? If you're watching or listening, I appreciate it. You can be watching the podcast on YouTube at my YouTube channel, Comedian of Cinema. I'm going to keep trying to put up video on YouTube. And there have been like a couple hiccups, like the Canon I have can only record 30 minutes at a time. So I'd have to like check at 29 minutes and get prepared to hit record again. But that's not that big of a fucking deal, right? And you can also be listening at Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which I feel like that's where most people, at least now with Spotify, most people listen to podcasts on Spotify, right? I always did on the podcast app, but I've been listening to podcasts for fucking ever, So yeah, welcome. How's everybody doing? Not a terrible week. I don't know, thinking about just shit. I start work again like full time in a week or so. I'm excited to be busy. It's going to be all night stuff, but I'm excited to actually be busy, get to save some money. Dude, I'm planning a major fucking vacation just for myself, like for my birthday at the end of this year. I want to go somewhere for like 2 fucking weeks and just relax, you know what I mean? Like a deep relax, like go into a coma for 2 weeks type relax. I don't know. I feel like some shit like that is overdue at this point. Where should I go? I don't know, maybe. I mean, I know stuff is like kind of cheap to go around, and I got the second vaccine shot. Thank God for that. Getting that shit over with. I'm tired of this shit, man. Tired of, I don't know. I don't even give a shit about myself. I care. It's like that whole "what are you afraid of" argument is so nonsensical to me. It's like, you're asking the wrong person. There are people that are like genuinely like afraid to go outside, and it's like, I can understand that, but also it's a little much. But it's more about like when you come into contact with so many different kinds of people, or like I'm working at my grandfather's place, so it's like I don't want to kill him, I wish I was dumb enough to be proud enough to be like, vaccine schmaxine. What do I need the vaccine for? I'm just going to do what I want. You wearing a mask, pussy? I don't know. Okay. Makes no sense. But, some of these, that's people. There's a lot of people. They all think different things. What are you going to do? That's the tagline for the human race. A lot of people. They all think different things. What are you going to do? How you guys liking the play? If you're watching, how you guys liking it? I got some fucking posters up, dude. I'm digging it. I got these tin ones, and then I got these vinyl posters on this website. The website is myhotposters.com. Got them for super cheap, which is weird, like $10 a poster, and they're actually a pretty interesting quality. They're not paper. They're like this like canvas vinyl type, so it's super interesting. And they're dope. They have all kinds of posters. So, and that's not even a sponsorship. You're welcome, My Hot Posters. Even though it took you 3 weeks to send my shit. I don't know, man. I haven't slept yet, by the way. I worked last night, and I got off work and started recording this. So I got notes, luckily. I got like a ton of shit written down. I have to keep making sure this fucking recording. I got a ton of shit written down that I'm so excited to like branch out about. So I don't know. I want there to be a buffer when I do this from now on. I don't want to go straight into like movie or show talk. You know what I mean? I want there to be like a grace period, and then we get into the talk of stuff. What is there to talk about in this grace period, though? You brought everything up. While waiting in line for my vaccine, or I was getting ready to like leave for my vaccine, I saw someone I know who's scared of the vaccine, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know, man, those side effects." I'm like, "Yeah, not that bad." He's like, "No, but I heard some of them are bad." I'm like, "Yeah, still not that bad." I would very much rather have like heavy side effects for a couple days than. I mean, I'm lucky. I don't know how I've gone this fucking long not testing positive. And not because I go out and do crazy shit. I know people in my family are just fucking stupid and selfish, and they go and they do what they want without regard for anyone else in the family. And I've unfortunately been forced to come into contact with them. You know that whole thing when you're forced to deal with family? I don't know. And then it became a point of pride for me to be like, haven't tested positive. And it became like, don't ruin my streak. You know what I mean? Like to like family members I don't want to fucking be around. They're like, I tested positive. I'm like, that's great. Stay over there. Back the fuck up. But yeah, I didn't have even that bad side effects, to be completely honest. And I didn't have them for even long. I was expecting like the night I got mine a Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. And by the night, it was like, all right, super arm soreness where I got the shot, which is normal. That happened in the first shot, but that's fine. And then I had like crazy chills. That was pretty much it. Chills in like elbow and knee aches. And then I slept through the night, and then boom, the next day I was fine. And the soreness went away like nothing. I don't know. I can understand the like, I guess the fear around it. I don't know. There's so much fucking misinformation that it's like so easy to get caught up in. Well, I read an article and they said if you get this vaccine, like, I don't know. Just listen to the fucking smart people. How hard is that? Everyone got through school listening to this, like copying off the smart people. Just fucking listen to the smart people. If someone smarter than you is saying do this, do it. And that's not a fucking sheep mentality. That's being like, oh, that's the smart thing to do. I'm going to do that. It's become so like it's easy to be proud of going, being like, oh, you listen to the scientists, good for you. Like how is that such a popular stance to have? You listen to the scientists, congratulations. I do otherwise. It's like, oh, that's great. You're really going against the grain, aren't you? All right, that's enough for that grace period because I'm gonna get some fucking DMs. Let's get into some shit. I was lucky enough. I got this fucking projector just in time, by the way, for Godzilla vs. Kong. I know that theaters are opening up. Not enough. And not at like anywhere near to like 20%, 25% capacity, I think. But I didn't get the chance to see Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters. I was lucky to get this projector just in time. And it's set up easy, and I'm lucky. I just, recently like redoing the whole room. I have like complete nice and clean white walls. And the last time my walls were painted, I was like 13, and we painted them a fucking weird blue. So it's like, ugh. Come on, blue. And then we finally got everything nice and clean, setting up the projector. It worked perfectly. And it's one of those miniature ones where it's like it's just very minimal. All you gotta do is plug it in with the HDMI and the sound settings, and that's it. and it was great. And it was like I was so just stoked to be in that atmosphere. That was sweet. That was really good. And what a movie to do that with, like a giant monster, fucking crazy. I would have liked to see it in theaters, but what are you gonna do? Tons of thoughts about this fucking movie. First of all, it's not a good movie, obviously. It's not a good movie. Like that has to be normalized to like talk about. Like, listen, it's not a good movie. It's entertaining. That there's a difference between good and entertaining. I can name so many entertaining movies that are shit, but it's like I'll switch the brain off and enjoy the colors. You know what I mean? And this is the movie for that. Like this movie is 100% eye candy in some moments, and in many other moments, it's like I don't give a shit, which I'll get into. But this movie is definitely eyes wide open at some moments, like the crazy visuals to the point where like you kind of lose the scale. Like that's the thing with keeping a movie grounded when you do like a monster movie. Like that's why so many people liked the first Pacific Rim, and then that's why the second one people didn't really like as much, because the camera's no longer where a human would be. The camera's following them like it would be like a regular, like you're getting like regular close-ups on giant monsters, and it's like, eh. But that is, if you're gonna do that, go at that crazy. Like I want to see crazy shit. That's what happens in this one. Like you got these like super regular human like push zooms on Kong, and he's like flexing, looking into the like. They do a really good job at that. Which Kong is the most human character. Like we've seen the most of Godzilla. I mean, not screen time. I mean, just in terms of like time period. We've been watching. We saw since 2014. So it's like somehow it's still that Godzilla is still less like anthropomorphized compared to Kong. Kong is just straight up a dude. The movie opens. Oh, by the way, spoilers. The movie opens up with him just like scratching his ass. Like he wakes up on a regular fucking day in Skull Island, scratches his ass, gets ready, like, walks around, gets a tree. And I thought that was a great opening. They had a great song playing. I think it's Over the Mountain Across the Sea. I'm not sure. I can't remember by who. Great song. And it's just a perfect establishing moment for the movie. And you find out that he's like they built a dome around him to contain him in Skull Island because I don't know. What was it that woke Godzilla up in 2014? Anyways, was it nukes or something? I don't know. But yeah, and then they have to transport him to something about the Hollow Earth, dude. Oh yeah. The story is bullshit. That's what it is. Don't care about anybody. Nobody. That's so funny to find in a movie. To be like, oh, I don't care about any of these people. They're nobody to me. Who gives a fuck about, what's her face? Millie Bobby Brown? I don't care about her character in this. I don't care about the conspiracy theorist. I don't care about the dorky friend, which is like, you're friends with a girl who like survived Godzilla's attacks, and your mom was a fucking nihilistic terrorist. I mean, how are you still a fucking loser? The worst dad ever. Her dad is the worst dad. He had like so much screen time in King of the Monsters, and now it's like, oh, we're just gonna, be there for a couple scenes. Who cares about that? We got the baddest bad guy, where it's like he walks around with the coat over his shoulders. Who does that? Nobody does that anymore. What's his face? Skarsgård is just, I don't even know what kind of character he was. In the beginning, he's so like stoic, and that's another thing. Okay, going down the list of notes that I have. I don't care about someone losing a brother in a Titan-related accident. I don't care about someone losing any family member in a Titan-related accident. That's apparently every character of these movies is somehow, in some situation, has been like, oh yeah, I've dealt with Godzilla before. That motherfucker. Like, I don't care. It's nothing. You might as well, like, it would be, I would enjoy it more if the movie just said "fuck you" to me, and then that's it. I'd be like, okay, next. Understandable. Keep going. I don't care about everything that happens with like Millie Bobby Brown in this movie. Her entire plot line, like cutting back and forth between monster shit and Millie Bobby Brown and the other guy and the conspiracy theorist Bernie, which I have a whole fucking line of thought about that fucking character and the harmfulness of that fucking character. Going like sneaking through like high level security just like by stumbling through like fucking Scooby-Doo. I don't care about that. Stop doing that. Do you want your dumb, shitty movie to be entertaining? Then show me less of that and more monsters. I don't know. I thought that was funny. It's funny to be like, we know that what you want is monsters. We're going to give you monsters, but also you're going to have to deal with some people. I would very much, just give me a cut with just the monsters. Release the monster cut. How about that? Let's start that fucking hashtag. You fucking dorks. I want to see the people. I don't. It completely puts me off to the movie when I see regular ass people doing regular ass shit. Or not even regular shit, just being like, what countdown to win this happened. It's like, what's happening right now? Who cares about these people? Show me the monsters. It takes, so like we see Godzilla in the beginning destroying shit, and it's like, all right, that's cool, but it takes like 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes for like the shit we want to see, the fight on the battleships, you know, which was cool, which is really great, really good like first interaction. So many dead people. It's funny to think about that. Like, there's like, I'm thinking about like in the reality we live in, if monsters existed and there was one that was just so happening, there was one that was just, you know, like its job was to kill the worst one. I don't think there would even be a fraction of people that are like, Godzilla's our savior. Like, so many people died in this movie. You can't tell me they evacuated all of Hong Kong. You can't tell me that. They destroyed that fucking place. Every building was like destroyed. That's what gets ruined in this movie is the scale of everything, because everything that, you know, it looks like the whole, and obviously it's all CG, but it looks like guys in suits. That's what the perspective goes from, like these giant massive things to like regular humans' perspective of just standing in like a small like scale city. Which I guess is, I mean, that's what the original King Kong versus Godzilla was. It was just two guys in suits. A lot of callbacks to that too, which I thought was funny. The shoving the fucking gagging Godzilla with the tree and shit. It's like, okay. Fucking kinky. All the humor is awful. It's all bad. It's all like so weirdly dated, and I know that the movie was delayed a bunch, but like Tide Pods aren't funny anymore. They never were funny, by the way, but Tide Pods, just like the situation around Tide Pods aren't funny. Not even like as in like an offended person being like, hey, take this seriously. Like, no, it's not funny. You have a great comedian. I can't remember his name. I saw him live once at a comedy benefit. You have a great comedian coming in for like 3 minutes of screen time, and I got in trouble for selling Tide Pods to those kids. Like, that's not a funny joke. Write better stuff. If you're going to include this shit that doesn't matter because monster stuff is happening over there, write better stuff. I don't know. Let's get to Bernie, the conspiracy theorist. Here's the problem I have with Bernie, the conspiracy theorist. That shit's dangerous. There's something so kind of dangerous or harmful around the idea of like, this is a conspiracy theorist who's right all the time because he was right this once. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. You can have a conspiracy theorist character that turned out to be right by accident. Like, they threw a wide array of like conspiracy theorist nets out there that they eventually were right about one thing. And especially in a world with like monsters, that's okay. That's obvious you're going to get something correct if you're like Godzilla's doing this or whatever. But like several points in the movie, they validate stuff that he's doing, and it's dangerous. I don't know. There's a moment where it's like Millie Bobby Brown is like validating the fact that Bernie bathes in bleach. What? What do you? And then the fucking dorky kid who's supposed to be like, every line he says, it's like the audience is supposed to be like, oh, you fucking dork. He's like, wait, what? I'm not going to trust the guy that bathes in bleach. And Millie Bobby Brown says something like, it's so that you can cleanse your skin of the government tracking, whatever, some bullshit. Some fucking conspiracy theorist psychobabble. And then that's supposed to be treated as like, yep, good, smart comeback, Millie Bobby Brown and conspiracy theorist Bernie. I don't know, to validate everything else that he's done, to be like, see, he's right. It's like, no, that's so dangerous. That's so harmful. We need less of that. We already have a problem with conspiracy theorists and misinformation. Cut it. That's so irresponsible. I don't know. Like, so also he runs a podcast. Bernie, the worker for Apex, the evil company that eventually creates Mechagodzilla, is working for Apex. But at the same time, he runs a conspiracy theorist podcast of him just like screaming at them like, they're watching us, they're, you know, shit like that. Like fucking, like a low grade Alex Jones type shit. But less fucking rage fueled. And he says on his podcast, like, today's the day I'm going to go and infiltrate the fucking Apex, whatever, the blah, blah, blah. Then he walks into the Apex and nothing happens to him. In a world where like the technology advancement of like the movies, where it goes from 2014 where everything is kind of just regular, just military and stuff like that, to now they have these hover crafts that can go through to the hollow earth and all that shit. It's like nobody was kind of listening and keeping taps on him. No one at Apex, no one on the government was like, I don't know. It's just very thoughtless. And that's me, like, being like, no one was thinking about this. Like, that's because, no, they don't care enough. I mean, not they as in the characters. The people that wrote the movie don't give a shit. They don't care if people are thinking about that because they don't have to. They just want to fill the movie. And it keeps cutting back and forth between these three fucking doofuses somehow stumbling onto everything by accident without any security. They accidentally get on like a speed hollow earth train to fucking Hong Kong because the main characters just have to be there at that time. How does that happen? I don't know. I know it makes no sense to pick away at this, but it's like, if it didn't take up this much of the movie, I wouldn't pick away at this as much. You know what I mean? Come on. Godzilla whoops Kong's ass at first, to the point where it's Kong has to like pretend to be down, and then they're like, "Oh, I have an idea," and then it cuts to like choppers airlifting him. Why didn't you do that in the first place? So many people died. So many regular folks dead. Guys just driving jets, being like, "This is the life." You know, I this is the greatest job in the world. I get to fly and for my country and all that shit. And then Godzilla shows up. Let's fly him there. And then it cuts to choppers and Kong on a giant net. And that was really easy. Why didn't we do that 24 hours ago? Before the hundreds of fucking deaths. So many characters in this movie that are just like, might as well just walk on screen and be like, "Hi, I'm the aggressive, sarcastic one. Hi, I'm the timid scientist. Hey, I'm the one that's supposed to tell everybody, we got 5 seconds." You know? There's always those characters in these movies. And it's fine. It's just, I understand. You got to fill the movie with shit. I mean, you know this. You know what you're doing. I got time before this cuts out. I got time. Just give us less of that and more of the stuff we want to see. And the director, I forgot his fucking name. He was like, yeah, this is just a movie. A monkey fights a lizard or whatever. He said he was very fucking blasé about it, which is like, great. You know what you are. You know what you want. You're gonna do that. Keep doing that. That's fantastic. But stop padding the stuff that you know what we want. Then stop padding the fucking cool monster shit with 40 minutes of what's Godzilla doing? I don't understand. Has he turned on it? Like, I don't care. Come on. Humans are the worst in this movie, by the way. Humans are just, nobody's thinking like well, we've known Godzilla for the past 6 years or whatever, and he hasn't done anything to us willingly. He's always like incidentally killed people, but always fighting a bigger threat. And now suddenly it's like, oh, what changed? It's like, is everyone on Earth in this fucking thing a dummy? That's the thing. It's like the conspiracy theorist is right. And it's fine that he's right, but it shouldn't be right for everything. He's right that something is provoking Godzilla. He's not right to be bathing in bleach. Hey, guys. Hey, don't bathe in bleach. Okay? Okay. Fucking stupid ass shit. Every character's preloaded with meaningful shit, you know? I'm the daughter, and my dad sent me here to make sure you guys don't fuck up. Like, that's it. And then later, just crushed in like a monster's hand, in like, was it Kong's hand or something? I don't know. It's the kind of movie you got, though. The monster shit's great. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty down. The monster shit's awesome. The fights are great. They're elaborate and they take their time, which is good. I mean, they cut back and forth between people being like, whoa. But like, they're really good. The Hong Kong fight is fucking beautiful to watch. Just cut out everything of humans and then just watch all that shit and it's great. And there's this like stalemate between Godzilla and Kong. Godzilla has Kong on his ass. And they're just screaming in each other's faces. And it's like that kind of thing of, we could go to the end and just like kill each other by fighting. Or we can just be like, all right, fine. Uncle, I give up. Do what you want. And then that's when Mechagodzilla comes in, which is pretty cool. I like the idea that it's synced through. What was the Ghidorah skull? And then it takes over because just science-y shit. It just takes over. You are going to cut out in like 10 seconds. But I'm ready for you, motherfucker. I am ready. Hold on. Excuse me. Boom. Movie stopped recording. See, the video is off if you're watching on YouTube, but the audio is on because this audio recorder is the shit. 1 second. And we're back on the video, but on the audio, it's been nothing. No time at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, watch the movie. It's fun. It's a great it's a fun time. I sound like shit. I'm not selling this well, but it's like, I don't have to sell this movie. You know what I mean? This is not a movie where it's like, guys, you have to, like, watch it if you want or don't. If you want to see some monsters do some crazy shit, watch it. There are some interesting theories or like possibilities with the whole Hollow Earth thing. I thought that was cool, even though it made no fucking sense. But it made me like, it reminded me of Journey to the Center of the Earth. You remember that fucking movie, Brendan Fraser and I'm going to say Josh Hutcherson. That was a great fucking movie. And that was a crazy premise and it was just fun and it was dumb and there was no science that really needed to be thought of. The idea of like there being a whole habitat, a whole ecosystem inside on a closer layer of the earth, even though it's like, how is there a light source? And you know, there's a ball of energy or whatever. They don't think about it too much, which is like, all right, that's great. I'm not going to. And then you see all this like historical shit. You see this throne room and a tool that was made by previous fucking of Kong's kind against the war with the Godzillas. It was interesting. I wonder where they're gonna go from there. No end credit scene, which I thought was pretty interesting. No end credit scene. Surprised they didn't have at least like something prepared. to be like, you're like, because that's what all these movies have to do now is get everyone stoked for the next one. Every movie is a trailer for the next one these days. Nothing is ever just a fucking itself. So I was surprised to see no end credit. That's pretty much my notes for the movie. I mean, it ends pretty strangely. I mean, like, there's the whole fight. There's an understanding between Kong and Godzilla. And then it cuts to Kong and Skull Island, or in the Hollow Earth, and then that's the end. Like, they really rushed this ending. It wraps things up fucking quick. It takes a while to get to the stuff you want, and then after it's like, all right, done, move, no more movie. Maybe they wanted it to be like exactly 2 hours. I think it's around exactly 2 hours, right? How long is this fucking movie? Yeah, 1 hour, 53 minutes. They wanted to get it in. But yeah, you know, if you want some crazy fucking monster shit, watch that. So it's entertaining. And they got a lot of fights in this one. Officially moved away from any subtlety, which is fine. I mean, if you're going to write something this is fucking dumb, there's no need for subtlety. Let's move on to some Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because oh boy, you guys see that last episode? Pretty crazy. Let's see what I got written down here. Don't fuck up. To recap this episode, last week on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or I've been exclusively calling it, like, in my head, Foz. Last week on Foz. So they're looking for Carly. She's at this funeral for someone, I guess, who raised her. I guess they're all a bunch of fucking orphans or something, refugees. Zemo is, like, kind of tipped in. Like, you can tell he's got something else going on. But he's proving to be useful. And there's great discussions in this one about, like, would you take the serum? To, like, a bunch of people are asked, like, back and forth, which is, it's a very common theme. And it ends with, you know, someone taking the serum. Can you just take it? Like, if you have a vial, don't you need something to administer it? You could just, drink it or something? Didn't Steve have to be put in, like, a whole ass chamber for the serum? But now people are, like, getting vials and just shooting it up. Get like fucking heroin, getting a belt. And then they bring, like, there's the whole context of, like, Dr. Stanley Tucci in First Avenger. Like, I've been seeing that reference all around all the time. Is you know, the serum makes good men great and bad men worse, which is a good call, like, turnaround. And there's the whole, like, ethical and moral conversation in this one about the idea of radicalization and how easy it is to be radicalized, even regular people. Like, one of the guys, I don't know, are they all flag smashers or is there one flag smasher? One of the guys is talking about how much, like, Captain America he was such a Captain America fan when he was a kid, which is like, yeah, everyone would be. Everybody would be. Even, like, the bad guy kids, when they're little, would be like, oh my God, Captain America. Like, he's been famous since, let's say, like, in the world of the MCU 2011. But he also has that whole entire, in the modern time, he's famous, and he's, like, much more famous than he would have been than he was in the 40s and all that. But, like, he also has that history of being, like, during World War II, being the propaganda guy. And now they're going back to that with Walker, a whole new propaganda machine, which is very interesting to see, because thinking about the fact that, like yeah, Sam gave up the shield, but we all know that. Imagine in today's climate, say there's a fucking one soldier that America identifies with. He wears the flag, you know, and he's literally embodying America everywhere he goes, every mission he does. Are you fucking not focusing, you bitch? Focus on my face, motherfucker. There you go. There's no way, like, America right now or ever, but particularly right now, would be down with the Black Captain America. Let's just fucking be honest. I'm imagining, that's not my Captain America. My Captain America's white. Sam Wilson, Captain America. No, not mine. And then also rings back to, like, so, I mean, obviously with movies, you're never going to be able to dive into everything, especially if you have specific movies and stuff planned out that connected to whatever the fuck. So we've never really had any diving into Sam as a person. So now we're able to dive into who he is, who he was. We meet his sister and his nephews, and he's a Louisiana boy, which is a very, like, they do a very good job at making Sam a sincere character in this, but he's also still kind of a dick. So it's like, why? They remind you in this one that he used to do like counseling for veterans. Like, it's mentioned in Winter Soldier, and it's kind of like how he runs into Steve. And then we don't touch on that ever again. And from that point on, he's kind of just an asshole. He's a good guy. He's on the good guy's side. He's not a bad guy. He's not evil, but he's just a dick all the time. He's always snarky, and like the way he deals with Bucky is so like wrong. Like, he's an asshole to him. Bucky's a traumatized soldier who's been alive for 109 fucking years, or however old he is. And then you have fucking Falcon just being a douche to him. It's like, this is what they trained you, bro. And then he goes and he tries to talk to Carly, and that's a great moment. They're kind of just like chilling and talking about their ideologies, and he's revealing the fucking what's the word? The hypocrisy behind radicalization, you know? Or like youth radicalization, where it's like, yeah, we're doing the right thing now. It's like, no, you're still doing the wrong thing. You have the right intentions. You're doing it the wrong way. It's a great conversation, but it's funny to see. I don't think they have a direct line for his character at the moment. He's either being the good man that Steve said he was, or he's being a fucking douche. You know? I don't know. I mean, you know, we get that great opening with Bucky in Wakanda. And Ayo is helping him release the brain control of Hydra. Great fucking moment. I mean, genuinely one of the best moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Genuinely. Along with, personally for me, with every, you know, emotional moment of Wanda and WandaVision. Elizabeth Olsen and Sebastian Stan. Fuck, dude. Hot damn. Killing it. Killing it. So then we see the Dora Milaje. That's how you pronounce it? God. They show up and they're so fucking badass, and they whoop everyone's ass. That's like, there's a great dynamic officially now happening where it's like Battlestar and Walker talk about how, like, oh, would you take the serum? Would you take the serum? And it's like wanting to take the serum is clearly the problem. Or not even that. Feeling inferior. Like, that's a whole John Walker thing, by the way. He gets his ass whooped a lot of the time. How does the government just send these two fucking dorks off with no serum, dealing with like normal Captain America shit where he needed the serum? That's another thing. How can you throw the shield without the serum? Wasn't that like the whole thing? You need like the advanced skills and or like, you know, senses and strengths of the serum to be able to like actually deal with the shield and its complexities. Which, by the way, I'm tired of the shield science. Tired of it. Just call it a magic Frisbee. Just call it magic. Because that is an easier explanation than whatever, you know, fucking science of like the vibranium absorbs the energy and then it disperses it. Like, dude, he throws it into concrete and it breaks through concrete. And then he throws it at Zemo's head. And Zemo doesn't come out of that looking like the fucking bent neck lady. How is Zemo not just walking around like this all fucking day? Guys, is something wrong? Or just get a warm towel on it. You'll be fine. It's magic. Just fucking say that. if you're gonna like remove all the cool thing, the cool idea of like you need to have the special skills to be able to handle it. Like that's one of my few favorite moments from Spider-Man: Far From Home is Happy getting the kids out of like the dungeon or whatever, and there's all the bots and the droids and they're attacking him, and he takes a shield off of a display case and he tries throwing it and he goes like 2 feet. That's the funniest shit ever. He walks out going, how does Cap do it? Because Cap has like the muscle dexterity of a superhuman to be able to do that kind of shit. To fling a giant metal shield like hundreds of feet. But it's like, no, you can just practice with it. Give it some time. Practice with it. You got it. You're good. No, you're good. Just throw it a couple of trees. Throw it at trees and you're fine. And we get, Battlestar takes a punch in the heart. I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care about him. They gave us nothing. Like, that's the one. This show's only 6 episodes. We got 2 left, and it's going by fast as fuck. So I would have 9 seems like a better amount of episode number for a show like this. WandaVision, a one-off, like limited series, 7 episodes is perfect. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a conspiracy kind of, drama with thriller points and all, like extend it a little bit. I know you're going to do multiple seasons. Extend it a little bit. So that way at least I can care for Lamar. That's a whole other thing. The whole relationship between fucking John Walker and Lamar seems to be like the only other time we've been seeing them talk is fucking Walker being like, I don't know. And then Lamar's like, you can do it, man. You got this. Don't worry about it. You're fucking, this, and that. That's all he's there for. Which is not a fucking coincidence, I think, by the way. Whether it's like it was intended by the filmmakers and the writers, or if it was like it just so happens that, hey, not only can we not have a black Captain America, but Captain America's sidekick has to be a black guy. Come on. Then he takes a punch to the heart, and I don't give a fuck. But John Walker's pissed because there's a whole history between them two that I have not seen. That it's like, you can't expect me to justify like everyone being like, his friend died in front, like, but I don't have anything. I have like 15 total minutes of screen time for them. That's not enough to build an emotional connection for me between the two of them. Definitely not enough for Cap to behead a dude. Oh yeah, by the way, Captain America beheaded somebody. Public execution. Wha? That's fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy. Captain America chopped the motherfucker's head off. Shit. Imagine that. Imagine. I mean, I love the idea of I fucking am disgusted by the concept of it. Not of the show or anything. I mean, of police brutality, but like doing it on such a massive scale with the embodiment of America. That's some genius shit right there. That is fucking some mirror to society shit. Even if it's just fucking comic books and silly, characters, whatever. Everybody fucking recording. The title of the episode was "The Whole World Was Watching," which is the chant that protesters were screaming at the police during the trial of the Chicago 7. We were lucky enough to have Aaron Sorkin's movie come out for most people to understand the reference. But like if you haven't seen that crazy riot that was provoked and started, frankly, by the police in Chicago in '67, I think. I don't know what year. And the entire world was screaming. I guess it was on the radio and TV, which is like televised events like that were fucking crazy. Now imagine everybody having their own camera. How quickly that spreads with how that happens now. We wouldn't know about half the fucking, blatant murders. That's some crazy shit. But that's so good. Captain America, watching, the embodiment of America in another country beheading somebody. When I first watched it, I don't know why I didn't think it was a beheading. You know why? I thought he was hitting him in the chest because it was it seemed like more of a sternum thing. And people are also comparing it to that scene in Civil War when Captain America's on Iron Man. He's hitting him with the shield. But like, that's what it made me think of. And then afterwards I was like, oh, he fucking cut his head off. But that also has to do with the fact that like, this is a dark MCU moment. It's still not a dark moment for like compared to other standards, because it still has to run through Disney and they have to be like, listen, there's a certain amount of CGI blood we can show. Like, you behead a guy, there's going to be more blood than what was on the shield, but it's more about the symbol now. The shield is fucking tainted, you know? And you know what? The shield, frankly, has been tainted for a lot of people. Like, we're hearing more and more in this show about, like, the experiences of other people and not just, like, you know, Avengers fans. People being like, yeah, you know, that shield means nothing to me. All it means to me is, like, unhappiness and war and shit like that. But now we're going to see how this shit gets spun. I'm looking forward to seeing if, like, the government pulls a U.S. government and is like, oh, thank you, Captain America, for defeating those terrorists. You know? Can totally see that shit happening. Zemo was right. Zemo was 100% right. The serum creates supremacists. He's just wrong about Carly. I think that he's wrong. Carly's character she's gonna die by the end of this, I think, but it's gonna be one of those, I see the error of my ways, and then she's dead. But Zemo was 100% right. Fucking Walker takes it, and now he's got a fucking. Now he's actually fucking ready to throw down. Now he's not just some fucking dude with a Frisbee. And it's so funny seeing him get like he is the embodiment of like American emasculation. He gets his ass whooped by the Dormalaji, and afterwards he's like, they weren't even super soldiers. I love that. That's such a good moment. They like that's the epitome of fucking like limp dick energy. They were just people with spears, and I got my ass whooped. That's so good. You know what it is Steve Rogers is Don Draper and John Walker is Pete Campbell. If you've seen Mad Men, that is the fucking reference. Don Draper, Steve Rogers going around successfully doing everything, having everything work out in the end. You know, you get the ending you want. And then there's Pete Campbell going around trying to like, you know, like fuck around. He gets caught by his wife. He gets beat up by some guys. He gets his nose fucking knocked off. And then in the end, he's always just, why can't I get everything all at once? And then that's fucking John Walker being like, don't you know who I am? I'm Captain America. Like him introducing himself, John Walker, Captain America. Like, that's so funny. The insecurity is fucking strong, bro. That's the problem. Is there also two different types of soldiers. Steve was in the army in the 1940s. John went to fucking Afghanistan, right? He went to Afghanistan post 9/11. Like, assuming 9/11 happened in the fucking MCU. He's seen some actual shit. Like Steve was a war veteran and all. But John has seen some shit. He's a more brutal motherfucker when you think about it, when it comes to the fighting and the tactics. So now that he has the fucking serum, expect some crazy shit to go down. Wyatt Russell is so good. He's so good at putting up that fucking facade, you know, that like, they weren't even super soldiers. That was so good. And I know that's not how he says it, but that's the voice I hear it in. It's just very much like a passive, like, oh. And the fucking guy's getting death threats. Full-scale fucking decapitation. That's like medieval shit. A fucking beheading. God, that was good. I don't know. Dude, Zemo is such a great surprise in this show. He's such a great surprise of a character in the show because we have this fantastic moment. That's one of my favorite moments of the show with him, where he confronts Carly, and he doesn't. He's a motherfucker that makes moves. That's some Batman shit. No second guessing. Just bam. He shows up and he fucking shoots Carly. Like, I know what my mission is. I gotta fucking kill you. And by Batman shit, I mean like, this is what I have to do. I'm gonna get that done. That's Batman shit. And then he sees all the vials, and then there's that whole idea of like, is he just jealous? Does he want the serum? Is he gonna fucking take it for himself? Nope. You know that Bugs Bunny? Nope. This is one of the strongest motherfuckers. He's strong, not just in physical strength, in his moral principle standard. He's got some strong fucking principles. He crushes all those. He believes in what he's saying, and that's a really good thing for a character. It's a really, really good thing for a character to have, to be like, no, you guys shouldn't be elevated to the status you are. We should all be the same, crushing all these vials. He stomps on all of them except for one. The one that John Walker gets. But goddamn, that was good. What a great fucking character. Like, he knows how to deal with people. Like, when he talks to the kids, he gives them the candy. He brings up his son. It's very easy to forget, like, he was radicalized by the Avengers. It's a very interesting parallel. You know, after Sokovia and all that shit. Very good. Very good. What a good episode. The talks of a big cameo in episode 5. If I'm going to be ridiculous, and I want to be ridiculous because it's fun, old Steve Rogers. Could have been a fake, showy memorial in episode 1. Steve Rogers is off somewhere just chilling on a fucking porch, watching all this shit unfold, and maybe we'll see them visit him or something. I don't know. If I'm being ridiculous, that's why. That's the problem with, stop announcing cameos. Cut it out now. WandaVision, it's understandable. WandaVision was a crazy show with very different, it could go anywhere the way that they were doing it. It was a very interesting kind of show. This is not that show. This is a much more on-brand show for the MCU. There's not as many creative risks being taken. Just let the surprise cameos be a surprise then. You can tell me who it is, I won't care. But people apparently care about that when it comes to a surprise. But that's where you get people being like, oh, it's going to be fucking this obscure character from the 70s no one's heard of. But if I'm being ridiculous, Steve Rogers, and they're going to be like, I don't know, man, things been crazy when you were gone. While you've been gone. He's like, yeah, I know, I've been watching the news. He killed a motherfucker, cut his head off. And that's not a new thing. I mean, the Avengers kill motherfuckers like it was nothing, like ants. This is just on a more personal, like, base level. It also sucks that the guy was an actual fan. That's what makes it worse, personally. Like, watching that, everything lead up to that, is the dude being like, no, it wasn't me. Because I guess he thought maybe he was the one that killed Battlestar because they all had fucking dumb masks on. Yeah. And then cuts his fucking head off, dude. Head chopped off. That's some crazy shit. I'm really enjoying this. It is still kind of that's what I mean. Like, it's very on brand for Marvel. Does that make sense? It's still got that kind of like weird humor that doesn't really fit in the situations. It's not funny that, Sam calls his, what was it, grandma or Aunt TT? Just because it sounds like titty. Like, that's not a joke. And it's not funny when you have someone take it like, when you have someone with an accent say it, so it sounds like titty. That's not a joke. But that's a very Marvel on-brand joke. Stick with the cool conspiracy shit. Stick with the thriller that you've been building. This is the closest to Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier vibes. Stick with it. Cut out the fucking goofball shit. I mean, you can have like silly moments, but at least have it make sense. Like, while Walker's getting his ass kicked, Bucky and Falcon on the side just being like, "Hey, you're doing great, buddy. Good job." That's fucking funny. I'd want to watch him get his ass kicked. It's going to be interesting now. All right. Moving on to Invincible. I think that not as many people are watching the show, which is unfortunate. So it's isolating to be able to talk about it here, because I imagine not many people care. But I really need to talk about the show. What an interesting take on the genre. I know that every time something new, like superhero wise, comes out where it's like real superheroes but real, it's an interesting take on the genre. But they do a really good job at like rapid expansion, you know, of like a universe. You get the Viltrumites, which are the Kryptonians, and you know, Omni-Man is Superman, and he's the guy. Then you have the Justice Globe, or the Guardians of the Globe, and all these different types of heroes, types of powers, different characters in the universe, not just like superheroes. You have Damien Darkblood, and which was my favorite character until he got banished. So many great voice actors, man. Finally, we got, like, this episode, we got to hear Mahershala Ali plays Titan, a character that can like get impenetrable rock around his skin. That was good. And then the mob boss being a robot, and his voice, that was really interesting, by the way. I don't remember his name. It was some robot head or some shit. His voice was slightly auto-tuned here and there. That's just like interesting stuff. Like if that character is gonna exist, it's a cool little tweak to the character DNA, you know. Invincible got his ass whooped for the first time, like really, really whooped. And they're taking him to the intensive care unit or whatever. And it looks like his dad let him get his ass whooped. They call for... He's getting his ass beat by that fucking like Thor type beast. You know, it looks like an ancient battle beast or whatever. I think it was called Battle Beast. And then for a second there, you see his dad in the sky. It's like, is his dad going to come out and save him? And then we thinking maybe his dad called the new globe, the new Guardians of the Globe, and those fucking guys show up and they get their asses beat too. And then he gets his ass whooped, and he basically almost dies. His dad doesn't save him. And I think that was, his dad cares more about teaching him the idea of like, hey man, that's what happens when you get involved. Think bigger stuff. Because I still think the Viltrumites are there for world domination. I don't think they're there for safety. I think the Viltrumites are sent out planet to planet, universe, galaxy to galaxy to be like, procreate as much as you can, take over that planet. Which is a great idea, by the way. To take like, if the Kryptonians did that and just sent Supermen everywhere. Great voices. Such a great voice cast. I went over this last week with Frankie, but I have to go over these guys again. But this is going to restart again in a second. Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Gillian Jacobs, Zazie Beetz, Seth Rogen, Mark Hamill, Jason Mantzoukas, Sandra Oh, Walton Goggins, Zachary Quinto, Andrew Reynolds, Kevin Michael Richardson, Carrie Payton, Gray DeLisle, yeah, Mahershala Ali, John Hamm, Mae Whitman, Clancy Brown. It goes fucking on. Ezra Miller, Sonequa Martin Green, Lauren Cohan, Ross Marquand, Nicole Byer, Michael Cutlitz, Lenny James. Hot damn. So, like, I'm not even done. There's so many more people. How great is that? You can get everybody involved in something like this. That's so good. So many interesting characters voiced by people that, like, I'm so glad they actually got a chance, or they're all together. I mean, it's made by Robert Kirkman, who made The Walking Dead, so it's a lot of Walking Dead people, which is great. It's so cool to see that relationship grow. But yeah, God, what a good show. What a great cast. A fucking great cast. I'm too excited about it right now. I'm like really happy about it. Man. And they're going in an interesting way. I think there are 10 episodes, and the 5th one just came out. So we got 5 more episodes of awesome shit. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Amazon. Amazon's killing it with these original IPs, bro. Marvelous Miss Maisel, fantastic show. The Boys, fantastic show. This, Fantastic show. What else was Amazon Originals? Oh, I mean, a lot of movies, like, obvious, but... Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's such a great take. And I know that gets oversaid, but, like, it's a very interesting, fun take on superheroes and comic books and, like, a world where superheroes exist. And I love the animation. I really love that flat, harsh black contour line, bright color animation. It reminds me very much of Justice League Unlimited, where everything is very... And then every once in a while, you have this, like, cool 3D animation where it's like, I wonder if that was cheaper to do, to, like, just put in a human and paint them a certain color and have them be in the background. I don't know. That's small things that I look into, that I pay attention to. But it is a very, very good show. I think I'm coming up on an hour. Ooh. The camera's going to turn off, isn't it? Let's see if it turns off. 5, 4, 3, 2. It did. All right. Un momento. We got all that out of the way. Yeah. Full hour, I think, man. Not bad. Not bad, guys. I think that's it. That's going to be it for this episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com. Is that how the link works? Just go to Comedian of Cinema on YouTube. And I have a playlist of the podcast I post every week. Kind of. I don't know. I have to pick a fucking day. I keep doing like Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. And follow the podcast on Spotify. And subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts. And if you can, on Apple Podcasts, rate and review it. That'd be fucking cool. It's supposed to help out. And I'd really appreciate it. And follow me on Instagram at Comedian of Cinema. I post there daily. I'm super active on it. These are to the people who just so happen to come across this. The negative people that go, hey, I'll just look up a new podcast and watch this shit. You probably came here from my Instagram. But yeah. And I don't know if I'm doing this yet. I might include an intro and outro song that someone sent me. Hold on. This fucking dude sent me this awesome... Where is it? This dude sent me this awesome piece of music that he made that I really appreciate. Rodrigo Medellin on Instagram. I'm going to put your name here because that's fucking very kind of you to do that. And I'm going to see if I do an intro and outro with that music. All right. See you guys next week. This is where the music comes in. I'll pretend like I'm on my laptop.